Welcome to a Land of Little Horses educational video. My name's Gabby and today we're going to be taking a look at our nature trail here at the park. The nature trail is located down the big hill from the cafe and is home to both ordinary and extraordinary animals. First, we look at our goat pen here. Now, goats are typically pretty ordinary animals. However, these goats are very special because most of them are fainting goats. That's right, our goats faint. This pen is also home to new life almost every single year. We have baby kids here all the time, which means cute fluffy babies for both our guests to enjoy as well as everybody else here at the park. Now, I mentioned about kids. Kids are what we call baby goats. Typically, goats are pregnant for 2 months, and that's called a gestation period. Humans' gestation periods are 9 months and horses are 11, so that means goats reproduce pretty fast. Now, like I said, most of these are fainting goats, but we do have some other goat breeds located in this pen as well. We have some pygmy goats, and then this is, of course, Red here. He is our full-bred fainting goat. Hi, Red. This is one of our baby babies. He's only a couple of months old, and boy, is he cute. Now we move over to another very special animal here on the nature trail. This over here is Beast. Now, Beast just ate his breakfast, so he's kind of not amused of what we're doing right now. But Beast is a Katahdin sheep, and that means he's a hair sheep. So we don't have to shear or cut any of his hair off. It just simply falls off like a dog. Now, Beast makes a very intimidating growling sound, but don't worry, he's definitely not very fierce. He doesn't live up to his name at all. He's just a sweetheart. Now, Beast is a pretty old guy. Typically, sheep live to be about 10 to 12 years old, where goats, on the other hand, can live to be about 15 to 18 years old. So typically, goats have a longer lifespan than our sheep here. But Beast, I'll tell you what, I think he's gonna live forever. Now let's hear from our park manager, Mike Redding. Mike makes sure that all the animals here on the nature trail stay happy and healthy. Now, Mike, what does a typical morning look like chore-wise here on the nature trail?
Well, each morning we come down and we make sure that everyone is secured with enough hay, water, grain. We check on the condition of all our animals here to make sure everyone's looking healthy and happy. And we do a little cleaning of their areas. But the main thing in the morning is to make sure that they're healthy, fed, plenty of water for the day, and we go from there.
Thanks, Mike. Now back to the fact about goats and sheep, as well as llama and alpaca, is that they only have bottom teeth. So the top teeth are just gums. Now, these sheep over here are very special as well. Although they don't look like it, they're pretty tough little creatures. These guys self-sustain, meaning they can live all by themselves on an island off of Scotland. And they came here to live with us, and basically all we have to do is give them hay and water. They're super self-sufficient. So they're super strong little creatures despite their tiny little legs. Now, our next animals definitely fall into the extraordinary category. Over here, if you can see them, are our emu. Now, our emu typically like to blend in with their habitat here at the park, but emu are very special creatures. They're actually the second largest flightless bird in the world, second to the ostrich. So emu cannot fly like a typical bird. However, they can run super fast with their really long legs. Their feathers are so fine that they actually almost look like fur. And when they're babies, they're born with stripes. How cool is that? Now, emu, when they're born, come out of an egg, just like most birds. But emu eggs are special. They're almost this big, and they're completely green. They look almost like an egg out of Jurassic Park. They're like dinosaur eggs. Now, emu also make a very strange noise. It's a thumping sound, almost like a bang on a drum. Now, the typical lifespan of emus is almost 30 years. That's almost as long as a horse. Now here, we meet some fan favorites at the park. Now, these two are always up to trouble. Right now, they seem pretty quiet because they're enjoying their breakfast, but these are our two miniature Sicilian donkeys, Pedro and Alfredo. Now, Pedro and Alfredo are just babies. They're only about 3 years old, so they're still gonna get a little bit bigger. But let me tell you, although they're small, they've got some big personalities, and they tend to make a lot of noise. Now, these guys can live to be almost 45 years old. Our oldest donkey, his name is Trevor, he lived to be 45. So these guys have a long life ahead of them. Now, donkeys have a cross on their back. Now the legend dates back to the BC period that the donkeys carried the cross, and so that's why they're branded with the cross across their back. And every single miniature Sicilian donkey, or Sicilian donkey in general, has this cross on their back. Now, as Mike mentioned, each animal, we work very hard to ensure their health and safety here at the park. As you can see, Pedro and Alfredo are eating hay. Hay is a very typical part of an animal's diet, but not all animals can digest hay. They have a special part in their stomach that allows them to eat this and digest it properly. Now you'll notice none of the animals down here on Nature Trail are wearing blankets. We don't have to blanket these animals in the wintertime, and even though it's almost 32 degrees outside, so freezing, we don't have to blanket them because they all grow pretty thick coats here, even our little donkeys that you just met. You'll also notice that every single one of our pens down here has a little shed. Now these are what we call run-ins, and just like us, they're little houses for the animals to go in, especially when it gets cold, or to get out of the elements such as rain or snow, and even just to get in the shade in the summertime. At the end of our nature trail is what we call Western Town. Now Western Town is home to lots of fun activities here at the park, including our pony rides, gem mining, and wagon rides. But if you'd like to see more of that, I think you'll just have to come visit us. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for tuning into this Land of Little Horses educational video. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. Our emails will be linked in the description box below, as well as at the end in the credits portion of this video. Thanks so much for tuning in once again.